Alright, welcome to Oahu. This is day 0. You're going to get to that airport and you can take a bus or an Uber. Either way, you're going to spend 45 minutes in traffic. It might be faster just to catch that bus, so I've mapped out that bus stop. It's just walk out the terminal and make a quick right, and then make another quick left, and you'll see it. It comes around every half an hour. Either way, you're going to spend 45-50 minutes getting into Waikiki to get your motorcycle or moped. Very quickly on that, I short-listed, once again, all of the venues for two-wheeled rentals. I like these two. And if you don't have a motorcycle license and you can't bring a friend, basically it's a little bit tough to get a moped and go around Oahu. If the only way that you can see Oahu is to rent a moped, again, if you don't have a motorcycle license, you can't bring a friend, and you absolutely don't want to spring for the price of a rental car every day, then you can get a moped. But I get a lot of stops for you, and every time that you make a stop, you have to get off the thing, pull the lock out of the thing, lock it up, maybe forget that it's a mess. And although it is fun to ride around on two wheels, you got to lock up that moped a lot because they're easier to steal, and it really gets to put a major hamper on your experience. So maybe spring for the rental car, or maybe try a little bit harder to get a friend. But don't not go, even if you have to get a moped. But if you can do something other than get a moped, then do that. If you want to rent a motorcycle, that's fine. You're going to have a grand time. Okay, I have you going to after you get your motorcycle, you're in your motorcycle moped, you're in Waikiki. I have you going to the Royal Grove, Waikiki. It's pretty utilitarian. It's right in the heart of things. It's got a kitchenette in case you want to cook. It's relatively inexpensive. It's not a big resort, but it's everything that you need because you're here for the adventure. I think you're not here for the resort. If you don't feel like staying at a hotel, they do have a hostel, but it doesn't really offer anything, in my opinion, that's valuable. So if you don't want to stay in a hotel, I'd recommend that you go to the Ho'omalahua Botanical Garden and camp there, because that's pretty cool. That's high above Oahu. So if you're not gonna be in Waikiki, just don't even deal with the noise and the craziness of Oahu. That's your option B. After that, I have you going to the Ala Moana kind of area of Waikiki. I don't want you to be stopping and starting all over the place in Waikiki because it's annoying. And I just routed you right past Waikiki. It's beautiful, but there's a lot going on, and it's not my favorite. You can stop there. I've dropped a pin there, place marker there if you want to, but I've routed you to the Ala Moana area where there is a food land, and there is an LL Hawaiian barbecue, and there is the Ala Moana Beach, one of the top 14 best beaches there. Very beautiful, very chill, lots of grassy areas. Stretch out, take a chill. You will need to get lunch supplies for tomorrow. So if you can get a sandwich, some fruits, and stuff like that, you will need that. That's why I routed you here. Also, if you want to get poke at Foodland Farms, they'll have poke unless it's after 4 p.m. Then they may be out of poke. And there's other stuff for you to eat at Foodland Farms as well. If you don't want to do shopping for food right now, for your meal right now, you can go to LL Hawaiian Barbecue. That's very conveniently located directly across the street from Ala Moana Beach. But you do need to get lunch supplies for tomorrow. Once again, Ala Moana Beach is really beautiful. Chill, not a bunch of people running around. Nice swimming areas. Don't go in the channel, just to the east of there. And after that, Tantalus Loop. That's like a hopefully the traffic's died down a little bit. That's a 0 feet to 1,600 feet road. Very scenic, beautiful, and fun to ride on. I've mapped out a few points so that you just have to map those out and enjoy the ride. I have some dinner recommendations. One's upscale and in Waikiki Center. Another one's a little bit still in Waikiki, a little bit farther east, less upscale. They're both got a lot of stars. People like them. 4.5 for 5 stars. People like them. So they're good food, but it's just your choice of venue. And you can see if there's nightlife in Waikiki Beach. If you like to, I don't know about that. I simply don't know about it. I can't give you information about it because I don't know about it. Day 1, you got 2 options for breakfast directly in Waikiki. If you need a coffee, there's none at your hotel. There's a Nalu Health Bar. If you want a huge breakfast and you want to backtrack and go further west when you're going to be going east in a moment, then there's Komodokoro Ams for breakfast. And if you're staying at that botanical garden up there, look on the campsite layer, and I have 2 breakfast venues that are open early for you to hit those. First is your Diamond Head Crater Trailhead, and it's a sunken volcano. It's pretty cool. You're hiking. It's a steep hike to that ridge line. You get like wowie views, super high above everything, and that's your first kind of vantage point of Oahu. And then you're coming over to Coco Crater Coco Railway Crater Trailhead Coco Crater Trailhead Railway. Just kidding. These are the first and second best hikes on the island, by the way. Kind of same deal. You're going up a steep hike to the rim of a dead volcano, and you're getting a big vantage point of the surrounding area. It really is steep. It'll be very, very cool. Very quick, wowie views. Then after that, there's Hanauma Bay. It's a nature preserve. There's lots and lots of fish. So many visitors come that the fish aren't afraid of visitors. And it's nice to have a place to snorkel and swim. To snorkel that's not like a little lagoon, and to swim that you don't have to deal with those like Hawaiian currents and things like that. It's a base. You can get in the water without having to deal with anything pulling you out, or you don't have to worry about that at all. I think it's like $7.50 a person and $1 a vehicle to go there. After that, it's probably you'll have your lunch there, and then you'll go snorkel or swim. It is a great snorkeling spot. And you can also go to Sandy Beach. That's not one of the top 14 best, but I like that one a lot. It's got some like rolling waves to mess around in. A lot of locals go there, so it's pretty cool. After that, I have the you probably won't have time for it, so I marked it as optional. The Makapu'u Point Lighthouse Trailhead. You're climbing up to a ridge line, and you're seeing both the South Shore and the East Shore. And the East Shore, after you turn that corner, is really quite stunning. It's like another world. But even if you're not going to do that, know that if you're there in the afternoon, that's a real wind tunnel there. So if you're trying to go by on your motorcycle, you're trying to speed through there, know that you're going to have to deal with a lot of wind all of a sudden. So be aware of that. And after that, I have you staying at Bellowsfield Beach Park. I got 2 dinner options. The one that I selected, it is closer, or your option A, my recommendation, Ohana Karaoke Grill and Bar. I just selected it because it's got 4.5 stars. It's open late, so you'll still be able to eat by the time you get there, and it's close. It's close to the campsite. There's another option that I have marked that's open late, Paia Fish Market, Kailua. It's kind of a general option, and it's farther away, but it'll be open late just in case something happens with Ohana Karaoke Grill and Bar. Now, for day 2, we have 2 breakfast options. One that's closer, Kalapawi Cafe and Deli. That's for like bigger breakfast, super close to where you are. That's open at 6. There's another one, Nene Goose Bakery. It's pretty much just a bakery. It's also open at 6. It's farther away, and you're kind of deviating from the main highway a lot just to have, some baked goods. But if something happens to Kalapawi Cafe, you have that. Next, your first real event of the day is Lanikai Pillbox Trailhead, and that's they have these. A pillbox is like a World War II bunker, and they have a lot of these World War II bunkers there across the island. That's where a lot of great hikes are. because there's already a well-maintained, well-defined trail to there already. And then we have a Monowili Falls Trail. That's there's a waterfall at the end. Trail's winding through the jungle. You got a waterfall and a swimming pool at the end. After that, you get food from either Foodland Kailua, we talked about Poke, or Mala Market, and you take your food to Kailua Beach. And Kailua Beach is large, so I've pinpointed a specific location for you to go to. And after that, if you feel like it, Kailua Beach is one of the top 14 beaches. Really beautiful. But if you feel like going for a hike and not staying there for the rest of the day, we have this Pu'u Me'ili Trail. It's another pillbox trail, but there's this big bay with a sunken island, and really the tops of that sunken island poking through. It's a very interesting thing to look at and see. It's very massive. So you get a higher view of that. And after that, I have some dinner options. There's Golden Pho, which is eating inside, but you're backtracking a little bit. And there's Thai Food Express 1, which you're not backtracking in. It's a truck. It's a food truck. You're on the East Coast, and it's going to blow wind in the afternoon. I don't like to eat outside when it's really windy, because it's annoying. My napkins get blown away, etc. So if you have those two options there, I'd recommend Golden Pho. Backtracking a little bit, you're staying at Kualoa Regional Park. You probably won't see very much of the surrounding area when you get there. It'll be evening, night, but you get a view of that whole bay area, sunken island sandbar from the north vantage point, looking down south at it. Now for day 3, waking up, and you don't even have to leave your campsite. I do have some breakfast options, but before you leave your campsite, you can go for a nice brisk fit swim or wade. You can pretty much wade to this island that's just offshore. It's like a par 5 if you're golfing. I don't know if that's the term. It's not that far offshore, and you can pretty much just wade on the sand to get there for the most part. If you have flippers, that's going to be better. But and you're in this whole big kind of sunken island part so you're not really in ocean currents, so it's pretty calm. So you can go to this Chinaman's Hat Island. That's what it's called. I didn't name it. And go there and climb on it if you wish and come back. Or if you don't really want to do any of that, you're missing some fun adventure, but you can just hang out there for a while. Or go straight for Hollow Tree Cafe or Uncle Bobo's for some coffee. Hollow Tree Cafe is kind of your more general utilitarian, cover all your necessities. Uncle Bobo's, you're sitting outside and they have some cool things, some interesting and very good things, but you can't sit inside. So you have those two options. They're both open early. Uncle Bobo's open at 7:30. Hollow Tree Cafe is open at 7. Next is the Hau'ula Loop Trail. It's kind of a ridgeline hike of the East Shore. Pretty cool. Once you see that East Shore, when you're sitting there, or you're standing at sea level and you see that East Shore, you'll be excited to get up into those mountains and see what's up with that. Kahuku Farms, they're like a farm fresh. They're like a farm plantation. You can look at the plantation, see what they got there, and they make food fresh from their plantation. I like the exotic fruit that they get there, cocoa pods, etc. For some reason, there's any problem with that. I got the Country Eatery, which is like fulfills your general necessities there. But I really like Kahuku Farms. I think they do close at 3 p.m. though. I got a Turtle Bay hike there on the north. You just come around the north to the north shore. And I got a pretty leisurely hike that goes around the coastline here and checks out the coastline. Some's cooler than others. And there's a nature preserve not far from here, so you probably catch some wildlife that didn't quite make it to the nature preserve. It just feels comfortable in that area. After that is Kawela Bay, one of the top 14 beaches. Just stunning. Right next to Turtle Beach. They call it Turtle Beach because there's turtles there some of the time. No, not necessarily. I'm just kidding. But it's pretty beautiful. Sunset Beach Park is a little bit further down the way. Also one of the top 14 beaches. There's just a cluster of a lot of the best beaches up here. So I want you to see a lot of them. and you do get a better view of the east, better eastward looking there. There's like a little horn or point that keeps you from seeing the sunset over the water at Kawila Bay. So check out the sunset from Sunset Beach Park, excuse me. And there's a Panda Thai's food truck. And if you don't want to go to Panda Thai's food truck, then there's a Foodland around here, pretty close. But you're on the north side, so that wind isn't as much of an issue. And a lot of the food places up here on the North Shore are food trucks because land is so expensive. And you're going to Malekahana State Recreation Area. That's you got to go back over the north end to go east, and that's a beautiful area to camp. It's very stunning. So that is day 3.